Mohammed.
Hello.
Yes. Now, as an Ivorian, what's your opinion about the unfortunate thing or what is going on in your country now?
What is going on in my country is very bad because only the white people decide our future. Because if you don't give them what they want, they just overthrow you. It's what they used to do to Mr. Gbagbo. Because Mr. Gbagbo didn't like what they are doing, and if he didn't give them what they want him to go.
So, from your own opinion, do you think actually the Ivorians voted for Alassane Ouattara?
No, I don't think they vote for Ouattara. Only people they want Ouattara to be in power, and because they don't like Gbagbo.
So do you think that Ouattara, now that is in government, Gbagbo 10 years, I mean the life of the people have not changed. Do you think Ouattara is actually going to make the life of Ivorians better?
I don't even think so, because it's only the white people who choose Ouattara, and they want they're going to do what they want.
So you feel Alassane Ouattara actually will not make some serious change in the life of Ivorians?
Yeah, of course.
So Alassane Ouattara now is not the only one. There are so many of his type in the whole of Africa, right? The French, what do you think the French in Ivory Coast, what do you think they are doing? Do you feel they are very good for the Ivorian people?
No, the French normally are not very good for Ivory Coast. They just want them to come and pick our resources. They take our cacao, everything, and take it in the country.
Now, but the French are too strong. You can see the way they came in with aeroplane bombing everywhere because they like Ouattara to be the president. Do you think that it's not the same thing that is happening in Libya?
Of course, it's the same thing, because Libya didn't give them what they want, petrol, everything. That's why they want him to step down. So
now all the houses, Abidjan is one of the beautiful cities in West Africa. And now that they have come to bomb it, who is going to pay for it?
It's only our people. We're going to pay for it, because after they said they borrow money for us to build our country, they bring the engineer, they bring all the staff, and they borrow money. Everything going to be expensive. We're going to pay everything our own.
So you are going to pay again. We learned that they told you that the one His Excellency Leto February borrowed to build Ivory Coast, Abidjan, that for the next 100 years you can't finish paying it.
Yeah.
Now, how do you now, when they have come to bomb it, what will you do now?
When they come to bomb it, they just want to borrow money for us again. It's like we still slave until our small children, until we can never pay everything, because they want to borrow. They want only black people to be under them.
Now, looking at this house, look at this house. This is a council house. And the Europeans have built this beautiful house. But after building the house, nobody will come and bomb it. So they build it forever. In your case, when you build they come and destroy. They build, they destroy. What future do you think is there for your children?
No, they make our children's future is going to be poor forever, because when they borrow money for us to build and they destroy it, they have to borrow money again for us, and they come again after 10 or 20 years to destroy it again. How we can develop then? We're going to be poor all our life.
So now the position is that if your parliament in Ivory Coast are voting in the African Union presidential election, right? The president of the African Union will have the power to collect tax from you. And if they want to change a government, maybe from the election that happened, like African Union said, Alassane Ouattara won, but Gbagbo didn't win. They will not come and bomb you. At least they will come and remove, and you Ivorains will be in the army. Will you prefer that one or this one that Alassane Ouattara have to go and call everybody because African Union doesn't have its own army, and now see the way foreigners are killing you for nothing? Which one will you prefer? For you to have the African Union, you pay your tax, they have military, and employ you so that you pay your tax to the president, you vote for him, like in America, and then he decides whether Alassane Ouattara should do or else Gbagbo should do. Which one will you prefer?
I prefer the African Union to decide ourselves, because when a African Union, we vote for them, they have to decide, like what is happening in Cote d'Ivoire now. If it's the African Union, they can decide, okay, is Ouattara or Gbagbo. They decide it's not European people to come and decide our life. We have to decide our life ourselves. So we want to be united in Africa and decide our own song.
So now the parliamentarians, people you elect to parliament in Ivory Coast, what is your message to them? Because right now what is happening is that the president of Cote d'Ivoire goes in the name of international community to Addis Ababa, foreign land, and go and vote. Yeah, so you yourself, Mohammed, you don't have a choice. Your parliamentarians don't have a choice. But then they say there's no money to conduct this kind of election for everybody in Cote d'Ivoire. What do you think your message is to the parliamentarians in Abidjan?
For our parliamentarians in Abidjan, I want them to let us vote ourselves, our President of Union of Africa. Then we pay tax ourselves, then we can decide what we can do instead of leave the white people decide our life. So now you feel you are in a colony again, and you are actually, Cote d'Ivoire now is like colony of France. Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire is, they said we are free, but normally we are not free. It's only free but with math. They just talk about the freedom, but we are never free. Because they decide our life, they decide our president, they decide everything for us. Donc it's not a freedom that one. So the way Gbagbo was treated, maybe you may even like Alassane Ouattara, but you like the way Gbagbo was treated? The way Gbagbo is a big shame. It's a big shame because he's a president. If even they want to judge him, they should protect him properly. It's threatened like, I don't know what can I talk about, it's very bad the way they treat him. And the French were actually those who caught him. And how many, do you know of anybody who lost his life in Ivory Coast? Maybe a family member in this war? Plenty people, plenty of our family. We lost our children, our mothers, our dad, our grandfather, plenty people because they want Alassane Ouattara to come on power, and many lives are lost. So in the normal French language, what at least in some sentence, how can you tell our brothers who speak French some of the things you have said in the French language? Okay, to speak in French, I just want them to say, on doit décider notre sort nous-mêmes. C'est pas aux Blancs de venir de choisir notre chef. Le chef doit être décidé par nous-mêmes et on doit se unir en Afrique pour être plus fort. Parce que chaque fois, il décide de chef, c'est pas bon. Donc je veux que le chef soit décidé par nous-mêmes. So, are you telling our brothers in French language how it will be in their interest to have our parliament, if the people cannot vote, to start voting, because this thing is not going to be the last time that it will happen again? I just want to tell our brothers in French, Donc vraiment, on doit s'unir pour que le président soit choisi par le Parlement européen. S'il y a un problème en Afrique, que l'OUA puisse résoudre les problèmes et donc laisser la main libre aux Blancs pour venir décider de notre sort. C'est vraiment grave et vraiment on n'est pas indépendant.
Now, again, I'm sure you also don't know who is currently the president of the African Union Authority. That's the chairman of the Commission of the African Union. Actually, his name is Dr. Jinping, and he's from Gabon. In fact, he doesn't even you speak English better than him, right? But he is the one they have elected. That the president, Gbagbo, is one of those who voted for him. And the former one was called Professor Alpha Omar Konare, the former president of Mali. This is the second one. Do you think we want to continue with the way we are going? That some people we don't know go and vote and we don't even know the election is taking place. Why is the election not taking place in Ivory Coast for Ivorians so that the result will be taken to Addis Ababa?
Normally, I want the election to be taken in Ivory Coast. We decide, we vote for the president of the Parliament of the Union of Africa. Then they can know us, and they know if they did the bad thing, we won't vote them again. Then they can decide correctly ourselves.
But the problem we have, there is a president of the African Union Parliament. It's not the one we are talking about now. It's the president of the Union Commission. That is the president of the authority of the African Union. Because the one for the Parliament, there is a president for the Parliament. Some people say they want us to vote for the one in the Parliament. But what brought in there is a Parliament is in South Africa. And when we are going to vote for that one, the problem we have is that it is separate from the man that deal with the leaders. We want somebody who deals directly with the leaders, the one that is in charge of democracy, the one that is in charge of development, the man that is working closely to the African leaders. That's why we're saying the president of the African Union Authority. So we have in fact, so many leaders, but we are particular about the one in the African Union Commission, Dr. Jinping. We have, I think it's called, I can't remember the name of the president of the Pan-African Parliament. That is not the one we want, the president of the African Union Authority. Because that is the man that has gone to Arab League, the man that went to Libya, he was in Abidjan, he was in Cote d'Ivoire to meet the leaders. This is the man. What message do you have for that man himself?
The man, I want him to... Talk
to him in French because he speaks French more.
Okay. Je veux que le président du Parlement de l'autorité africaine puisse vraiment prendre le problème des Africains en compte et qu'il puisse décider réellement du sort des Africains et non laisser les Européens venir décider de notre sort. Choisir nos présidents, choisir celui qui est bon, celui qui est mauvais et celui qui les profite, c'est pas du tout bon. L'Afrique s'appauvrit de plus en plus. Donc c'est le message que je veux laisser au président du Parlement de l'autorité africaine. Il n'a qu'à vraiment décider de l'autorité des Africains et prendre le problème des Africains en compte. Merci.
Thank you very much. I'm sure Dr. Jinping has heard you, and I'm sure they are going to take the action because as you are talking now, I'm sure your heart bleeds. You are not happy with what is happening. We are all losers because the life of one man in Ivory Coast is the life of all the 986 million citizens of the member states of the African Union. One man died, all of us died. What do you want to tell that man in French about the life, how important the life of everyone is?
In French, I want just to tell him, I repeat again, je veux qu'il prenne au sérieux le problème des Africains et que ça soit effectif et que ça ne soit pas le président de l'autorité africaine par la bouche et que tout se décide par l'Union africaine et que le président du Parlement puisse effectivement résoudre les problèmes des Africains. Les problèmes des Africains doivent être résolus par eux-mêmes et non pas les Européens, pas les Blancs. Merci.
Thank you very much. And myself, Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, on behalf of the Action Group of Africa, and Mohammed, we say thank you very much.
Thank you.